$40 a month by doing it like this. Just follow with me, okay? Rico.
Uh, can you repeat how you sold that, finding a need? I think I like that when you listed what you had to do. I think the more extensive that list is, the more it's no important. It sounds important to them for the beneficiaries. Because can you mention all those items again when you listed it for to sell the Everest, the tombstone, opening the cask, all that stuff. Can you repeat all that for me? I wanna write it down because I wanna say it just like that.
Yes. So, uh, like what all goes into a funeral?
Correct.
So, getting the death certificate from the city, picking out the funeral home, picking out the casket, picking out the flowers, picking out the cemetery, planning and paying for the opening and closing of the grave, the graveside service, and then working to try to get the tombstone built, engraved, and put in.
Okay.
That's typically what'll go into a funeral. For anybody that hasn't planned a funeral,
Flowers.
flowers, everything. So flowers, casket, funeral home, the scheduling of the opening, closing of the grave, the transportation, the tombstone, getting it made and engraved usually takes like 6 or 8 months to do that. That's not something that you just go to a place and pick it out. It literally takes like 6 or 8 months to have it made. So all of this planning and all of this doing that, Everest will assist.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. I don't go into the Tenzing account. I think that's just a little bit too much for the clients. I do say, hey, they'll help get your will in order as well, which they will. They'll put all the will and everything in one spot to help them get the policies all together.
I just wanna
Um,
I just wanna make it seem really hard, to do
it
the.
is.
Yeah.
It
So I
is.
wanna emphasize that. So Everest
Absolutely.
will make it easy for them. Thank you.
Yep. Yep. Forrest, to answer your question, yes, you lose 5% commission on the 17.5. But you're still able to get usually a bigger deal by doing so. So you actually end up making about the same. All right. Any other questions, guys? All right. I
No.
think we have like 7 minutes left of the national call. So let's go ahead and join over there. And then coming right back here when you get done, 9 o'clock of your life. This is also going to leave $25,000 behind for your 3 kids, which is a little over $8,000 a piece. If you wanted to leave them that much, that is only going to be $380 per month. And then 40,000, this is still enough to cover your funeral completely for the rest of your life. It'll also leave $20,000 behind for your kids, which is a little over $6,000 a piece. If you wanted to leave them that much, that is only going to be $340 per month. Out of these options, Miss Regina, which option do you like the best to leave behind for your kids when they need it the most?
They're gonna say, ooh wee, all of them a lot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. See how I built the value there, though.
Mm-hmm.
Every quote that I gave you, I broke it down on exactly what it's going to do. And what that does is they stop focusing on the price and they start focusing on the amount. So just like you said, Miss Regina, most of them are going to go, I don't know if I can do that. That's a little high, right?
Mm-hmm.
Respectively, because I couldn't do it myself. Agreed?
Mm-hmm.
But instead of them going, uh, I don't know if I could do that, they're going to go, what would it be if I wanted to leave them like $3,000 a piece? Sold. Okay?
Yep.
They're picking what they want it to do versus picking what the cost is. Because I just gave them 10,000, 8,000, and 6,000. Now they're gonna go. What if I just? How much would it be if I did $3,000 a piece? Oh, great question. I know that 3,000 for 3 kids is 9,000, and then 20,000 for the funeral. I'm on a quote for 29,000. So 29,000 or 30,000, Miss Jones. This is going to be enough to cover a funeral for the rest of your life, regardless how high the cost goes. This is also going to leave $10,000 for your kids, which is a little over $3,000 a piece. If you wanted to leave them that much, that is only going to be $184 a month. Okay, yeah, I think I could do that one. Okay, perfect. This is how you sell bigger deals. Okay. This is how you build value to create urgency. And now my Jack in the Box is right back up to the top. Okay. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Who wants to try it? Laura, I see your hand up.
Actually, I was going to say it almost to some of the people I talk to seems like a shopping game. Not game, but like they go to the market and they decide, am I going to buy this or this? Am I going to buy 3 packages of crackers and leave a loaf of bread here, or am I going to do, and they're in their mind, it sounds to me like that's what they're trying to do, evaluate exactly what it is they want, like you said, what they want, what they can get, and can they really afford it? And if they can really afford that Hershey bar, they're going to get it. And if they can't, well, they don't feel like giving anything up.
Absolutely. And let me give you guys some mindset tricks here, okay? Number 1, raise your hand if you have a car payment. Okay. Is it more than you would like it to be?
Yes.
100%. Everybody agree with that statement? Your car
Yep.
payment's probably more than what you would like it to be, right?
Yep.
I would like for my car payment to be 0. Are you guys with me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So it's all more than what we would like it to be. But what do we do every month? We pay our car
Pay it.
payment. Why? It's a
We need the
necessity.
car.
I need it, right?
Because we don't want to walk everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So most people that we speak to are used to spending more than what they want to, but to get what they want. Following me? The need is so high that they have to have it. Number 2, most people that we're on the phone with are not in a position where they can leave money behind for their kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So when they think of $300 a month, but being able to leave $10,000 or $8,000 or $6,000 a piece for their kids, the value might just be there. Following me? Because they're never going to be able to do that saving up on their own. It's not going to happen.
Thousands of fruit trees.
Okay?
These and more.
You guys agree with what I'm saying? I'm not saying anything out of pocket or crazy, right? The people are not in a position to be able to leave $6,000 for their 3 kids. But if you offer them a life insurance policy for $220 a month and you tell them that it's going to cover their final expenses where their kids don't have to worry about a penny and leave $6,000 or $5,000 or $4,000 or $3,000 behind for each of their kids, now you're starting to have some value in what you're offering. Also, it sets you apart from every other agent because what do most other agents do? 50,000 is going to be $480. 45,000 is going to be 440. 40,000 is going to be 380. Out of those options, I can't afford none of those. I'm on a fixed income. What are you, crazy? Oh, whoa, hold on. Let me offer something a little bit lower. And now, what does that feel like as a client?
I'm
But
not
you're
buying
trying to
from
get the
you.
most they could out of you.
That person's just trying to get a sale out of you.
Mhm.
Oh, hold on. Let me offer you something lower. Hold on. I got lower options, Miss Jones, and now this person's frantic, right? Versus, I can understand that, Miss Jones. Let me look a little bit lower for you. Now, if we wanted to leave each of the kids this much, or if we wanted to accomplish this, and now what I'm doing is, again, I'm selling them not on the price, but on what they're getting for what they're paying. More people are going to buy. Now, nothing I teach you guys is going to work 100% of the time. I will come out and say that right now. You are never going to close 100% of your deals. Never. Not going to happen. My job is to get you closing more often than not. Agreed?
Yep.
So, utilize what we trained on tonight on your phone calls tomorrow and Thursday and Friday, and watch the increase in your sales happen almost overnight just by focusing on those 4 things. Need, recapping their need, telling a story in your presentation, and then breaking down what each benefit is going to do. Watch the difference in your sales. Justin?
Yeah, so I'd like you guys to write down right now. I know you put it in the chat. But I want you guys to write down on paper or on some sort of electronic document what you're going to use tomorrow from the training. And then when you use that, you can mark an extra space on your bingo card.
Ah.
And I want you to write on the bingo card what you did. All right? So you can pick whichever one you want, whatever wild card spot. So if you want to pick that, I know everybody's probably going to go to the 30 hours of talk time one or whatever. So you can go, no, I know which ones, or the 10K. So it's either talk time or the 10K, whichever one. Knock that one down with applying this. Because if you get in the habit of applying these things that you learn from training to your calls every day, you're going to be hitting 10K weeks within 60 to 90 days, and you're not going to need a 25 to 30 hour week to do it.
Yeah.
Truer words have never been spoken. Gotta apply. Just learning and not applying does you no good. Reading a book, setting it down, and never thinking about it again does you no good. Right? You have to apply what you're learning. Okay? All right. So on that note, it is 8:24. If you are content where you are at today, you have hit your targets, your 500 dials, 5 hours of talk time, and or you have made the money that you are happy making. Enjoy your night if you plan on getting off. If you have not hit your targets, well, there are still plenty of time left in the day. Yes, it sucks. I've been there. I know what it's like. Trust me, I do. I promise. I told you guys the story this morning of how I joined. I was 2 months behind on all my bills. My wife was 5 weeks pregnant. My house was being built, and I was getting married, all within a 3 to 4 month time span. So I know what stress is like. If you have credit cards and stuff knocking, time to wipe the boogers out your eyes, go get you an extra cup of cappuccino, take a walk around the block, and let's get back at it and crush the rest of the day. All right, guys? Let's have a good night.
Got a
Thanks,
minute?
Josh.
Jonathan,
Thank you so much,
absolutely.
guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you,
Thank
guys. Thank you.
Justin,
Thank you,
Bob, I
guys.
can get back in here.
Thank you. Good night.
Josh, you got a minute?
Yeah, I got, let me pull Jonathan, and then I'll pull you.
Okay.
I do have also a question. Not a
Okay.
question, like an advice. I need an advice
Okay.
on something.
Okay. Do you need it separately or in here?
Separately, like
Okay.
Just-
I'll pull you after I get Bernard. So I got Jonathan, Bernard, you.
Yep. Go ahead.
All right. So last night we covered 4 parts to increase your sales, okay? Number 1 is spend some more time in your needs analysis. Get to know what the client is looking for. There is a why there. You got to find it, though. If you guys remember that Monday, I played that recording for the guy that already had 40,000, right? And then we ended up selling him a $7,000 policy because he had 7 grandchildren. I told a story, and we'll get to that in a second, but I told a story on what my grandmother did for me, and it ended up being a sale for $7,000 on top of his 40 to leave $1,000 for each grandchild. Do you guys remember that call recording on Monday?
Can you tell a story again so I can record it?
I can't wait you Rico. I knew you were probably being serious though. Another time. You guys will hear it again. But I found his why, right? I found out what was driving him or what would make him buy a policy. The second part to this is when you get into your presentation, it says, perfect. I have a plan that's a perfect fit for you by the name of Pioneer Security Life. And basically what you're telling me here is that you feel like this is something worth looking into for your family, right? That is a basic way to start your presentation. That does not get the Jack in the Box all the way out of the box. That just gets his head poking out. So what you need is you're going to word it like this. And Mr. Jones, Miss Jones, just to make sure I'm understanding you correctly. Just to make sure I'm understanding you correctly. Regurgitate their whys. I'm going to give you guys a mastery tip here. The longer that recap is, the higher the chance of your sale going through. Master tip. The longer your recap is, the higher the chance of your sale going through. Does that sound accurate? Does that sound accurate? Yes, it does.
Do you ask them, if you recap, when you recap their why, do you ask, is that accurate, or did I miss anything?
Any one of those will work. So, I would say, is that accurate? So I'll go, and just to make sure I'm understanding you correctly, I'll regurgitate their why, and then I'll go, does that sound accurate? And every time they're like, yes, it does. And you can almost see their facial expression as they say it, like, dang, this guy actually listened to me and what my concerns were and what my whys were and what I was looking for. And he understands what my issues are and why I haven't taken care of this so far. And right, their brain starts going like, this dude is actually listening. He's different than all the other agents that were just trying to push a product. Okay? A recap.
Another thing. So we talk about the cost of burial incrimination. That's before the health evaluation, right?
Correct.
And then we come back to it before the presentation, right? Just to understand.
Yeah, so just to make sure I'm understanding you correctly, then I'll recap how much we were looking for, right? And I'm the expert, so I'm not asking them, I'm telling them. A funeral in your area is $8,136 on the low end. It's $12,488 on the high end. That is today's cost. That is if you passed away today. You are 67. Let's plan on another 15 years of life. If we do that, instead of 8,136 on the low, let's go 13,000 on the low and 18,000 on the high. So we need between there and there to cover it for the rest of your life, right? I'm giving the suggestions.
So we break down the money
Yep.
for
We're gonna get
after
to
the
that
health
next. Yep.
after we get the quotes.
Yep, we're going to cover that next. So you recap their why just to make sure I'm understanding you correctly. Regurgitate. Does that sound accurate? Yes, it does. Now I'm into my features and benefits. Your features and benefits are not just words on a paper. Most people run through these features and benefits like they're just something to say, like a filler. They're not a filler. They are what you're offering. You just spent all this time gathering their information. Tell them what you're going to offer them. A free living will, right? This means you can take this up to the bank, get it notarized. That takes all the guessing and arguing out of it. That way your children aren't saying, well, mom wanted this, mom wanted that. You have it wrote down on exactly what you want and where you want that money to go. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, beautiful, right? I'm telling them what it's going to do and I'm explaining it. That way they see the value in it. Following me, guys?
Yeah.
I'm also going to tell a story. Back up to what I was saying earlier, I told a story about what my grandmother did for me. She left me $1,400, right? When you tell a story to sell the benefits, it makes it more valuable and you're painting a picture. Now they are buying the story and what they can do for their family. Following me? So you're going to pick a benefit that makes the most sense. Is it partner for life? Is it the living will? Have you guys ever had somebody die and your brothers and sisters and you were arguing on what your parents wanted or what you should have got or whatever the case may be? Have you ever had something where you needed money right away and you couldn't get it no matter how hard you tried? And the cash value might be something that you touch on. Have you ever had a family member on hospice and you wanted to be there by their bedside, but you couldn't because you had to work and you didn't have the money to take off? Terminal illness benefit might be that, right? If you've had a family member that you just couldn't bury right away because you had to go start a GoFundMe or you had to wait on a life insurance policy to pay. The fact that our companies pay out typically within 48 hours of receiving a death certificate. That might be a selling point, right? These types of things you can touch on to increase the chances of the client buying. All right. Last but not least, when you're giving quotes, you do not say, All right, Miss Jones, 50,000 is $486 a month. 45,000 is 440. 40,000 is 398. When you give the number then the price back to back, there's only one thing that they're focusing on. They're focusing on how much is it going to cost me. Okay? Instead, this might be difficult for some people if you're not the best at math, but you want to try to get good at this and start learning these different breakdowns. For me, I break down exactly what each benefit is going to do. 50,000, Miss Jones, is going to be enough to cover your funeral for the rest of your life. Like we mentioned, it's going to be between 13 to 18,000. So at a minimum, this will leave behind $37,000 behind for your two kids, which is just over $18,000 apiece. If you wanted to leave them that much extra, that is only going to be $486 per month. 45,000. This is enough to cover your funeral completely. At a minimum, this will leave around $36,000 behind for your kids, which is going, or $32,000 behind for your kids. This is going to leave each of them $16,000 apiece. If you wanted to leave them that much, that is only $440 per month. Notice, I'm breaking down every quote that I give, okay? You will notice when you're doing this the right way, people stop picking the price. They start picking the amount. That's how you know you're doing that the right way. When people stop worrying about the price and they go, well, how much would it be if I wanted to leave them 5,000? How much would it be if I wanted to leave them 8,000 apiece? Or let's go with the one for the 8,000 each. Okay, perfect. They start picking what it does versus what it costs. Following me? Okay. Any questions, comments, concerns on anything that we just covered? Miss Laura.
How do you determine, yeah, in each one of these, you've said that's enough to take care of your funeral for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
My first thought is, how do you know how long I'm going to live? How do you know it's going to take care of it for the rest of your life? So I'm just asking how you can choose to make that statement. What do you base that on?
Yep, there it is. So if you're 67, I'll give you 40 years. I'll give you to
Okay.
87. Right? If you're
Okay.
75, I'll give you 10 to 15. Right?
Okay.
I'm also looking at your health as well. So if
Okay.
you're talking to me and you're 72 with congestive heart failure, I'll go, well, if we got another 10 or 15 years, right?
Okay.
Now, if you're 70 and in perfect health, I'll go, let's assume another 20 years for you. But somewhere around 85 to 90 is when I'm assuming most people are going to pass.
Okay. I got it.
Yep.
I was just curious about that and not doing the wrong one.
Yep. Now, something important to do. Let me share my screen real quick. Funeralocity. If everybody goes to this website, you can save this to your favorites bar. Funeralocity. I go to the website, and all I do is type in where they live. So this is where I live, Deltona, Florida. I'm going to go all the way down. If I go all the way down, it has all the different prices right here. So if I wanted a direct cremation, it's going to cost between $1,698 all the way up to $5,190 depending on where I go. If I want a full service cremation, it's going to be between $5,957 all the way up to $11,210. If I want an affordable burial, $5,210 all the way up to $7,945. If I want a traditional burial, $8,385 up to $13,760. So I have my pricing right here for their area. And they go, well, how did you get that number? Well, I have a few right here in your area. You said that you were looking for a full service cremation. So I have Unity Funeral Home, Outman Long Funeral Home right here in your area. And these are just some of the prices of the local funeral homes in your area. I have the funeral homes and what they cost. And a lot of people are familiar with some of these because by the time they get to the age of we're talking to them, they've had family members pass away. They remember going to the same funeral home 3 times, right? And they go, well, I use this one. Okay, what was the name of it? Oh, it was Sunrise. Okay, so Sunrise looks like it's a little bit cheaper. Right now, on average, Sunrise is about 4,220 or $525. But let's add $500 give or take for any odd and ends that the family may want to do. So right around about 5,000. So I can utilize this to help my sale go through and let me sound like an expert. Any questions on this? All right, I want to show you guys one more thing. Choice Mutual. You go to Choice Mutual and you hit their website. If you are not familiar with your competitors, you need to be. Okay? This is something that you should be trying to get as familiar as you can. Yes, this really comes with time, though, of doing it, or long enough you start realizing what different companies offer and what their payouts are. But this will shorten it and at least allow you to sound like you know what you're talking about. Let's say somebody says, I have Colonial Penn. I'm going to go to Learn and Plan. I'm going to click on Colonial Penn. They have not the best stars. I'm going to scroll down and look at that. You guys ever seen the $9.95 Colonial Penn commercial? They go, yeah, I'm paying $10 a month and I got $10,000 of life insurance. Oh, I think that's amazing. Do I believe them?
No.
No. Am I going to say that?
No.
No. I think that is amazing. $10,000 for $10 a month. That is massive. Is that the Colonial Penn? Oh, yes, it is. Let me ask you, how old were you when you got that policy? Let's say they're 73. Oh, I got it about 2 years ago, 71. If I'm talking to a male, this is how much coverage they have. If I'm talking to a female, this is how much coverage they have. That's not 10,000, is it? No. Right? But I can utilize this. I can show the client this, right? I can share this knowledge with them. Let's say somebody has, let's go Globe Life. All right. So this is their rates for women. This is their monthly rates for men. And this is for term. This is for I think this might be whole life.
Career life is going to be the one that's whole life at Globe Life.
Career life?
Yep, career life plus.
Okay. So you have these different price sheets that you can go off of. So if you're talking to a man and he's like, yeah, I was 57 when I got it, I got 20,000. You know that he's probably paying around $48 a month. Now Globe Life typically is going to go up every 5 years in cost. Price increases every 5 years. So they have a really low introductory rate, and then after a certain amount of time, it starts going up. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ashlyn, but most of the time when you call Globe Life and you ask them what the policy is going to go up to after the age of 85, they will not tell you on the phone. They have to send you an illustration.
Yes.
Meaning it's going to be so high that the client's going to have to cancel. That's exactly what that means. Well, I can't give you that number. Let me send you an illustration on it. Or just pull up the illustration and give me the price. Nah, they're not going to do it. Mr.
Also,
Summit. Oh, go ahead,
if this
John.
makes you feel any better, people probably cancel before that because Globe Life spam calls them, like the business owners, after they set up the account, and I've had people cancel just because of that.
Yeah. Thank you. Ms. Summit?
So are most term life insurance increase the price after a certain amount of time or?
No. No, most term lives are level, meaning that they're the same price for the rest of the time.
So if it's mentioned level, it's not gonna change like the time frame you
Correct.
choose. Okay.
Correct. So like the term life that we offer is a level term, meaning that the price stays the same and the benefits stay the same for the rest of their life. Globe Life and AARP are different. AARP is underwritten by New York Life. They also have an increasing price. but here's the rates for AARP. So you can, again, utilize this. So if somebody mentions something, you can go here and do a little bit of fact finding and just kind of figure out what do they have? What do they think they have? Are they accurate in saying that? Following me? A little bit of knowledge. Choice Mutual is the name of this company. Choice Mutual. Okay. Any questions on what we covered so far? Who is going to apply what we learned last night and this morning to their calls today?
Do my best.
Let's go.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute now.
I know, I need to get rid
understand
of
you got the
that.
black eye first 48 situation going on, but brighten up.
I know, I need to get rid of that. Let me chug this coffee. I haven't had a chance to go look at my garden yet, and that's what usually wakes me up.
Come on, my guy.
All right.
I do have a question, but it's not related to what we just went over.
Shoot.
Actually, I have two. So when we're going over the morning meetings with Justin and they're talking about our metrics, what do they mean by string? Because they said I got a triple string on my sale yesterday. So what does that mean?
Yep. So string. So Rory came up with this thing, and he says, okay, if you hit a certain AP for so many weeks in a row, you're almost guaranteed to make $100,000 or more, and it creates a consistency mindset. So string is 2,500 AP. How many weeks in a row can you string 2,500 together? And then at the end of the year, he gives out a bonus. So if you hit string 15, it's a $200 bonus, which means you did 2,500 15 weeks in a row. If you do 25 weeks in a row, it's a $500 bonus. If you do 40 weeks in a row, it's a $1,000 bonus.
Yep.
If you do 50 weeks in a row, it's a $2,000 bonus. And if you do 52 weeks in a row, it's a $2,500 bonus for stringing them together.
Okay, perfect. And then, so my other question was, I know they kind of touched on it briefly yesterday about referrals, but how do we refer someone who is a licensed insurance agent?
To work here like an ambassador?
Mm-hmm.
Justin. So what you would do is you would get them in contact with me or Justin, and then we would send them through Justin. If they're already licensed, then they would probably go right to Beth. Make sure that they're able to come over. They're not vectored, right? They don't owe any back charges on any other companies that we work with. And then they would go ahead and go through the onboarding process, the same of which that you did.
Okay, sounds good.
Yep.
I'll send you the links and stuff that Beth gave me.
That'd be perfect. Thank you.
There's also, everybody has their own recruiting link. I believe I'd have to look at my business card and see what it is, but it's like SLSway.com/ first initial, so it would be A, and then your last name BRUGH. So it would be
Okay.
the SLSway.com /A BRUGH. And then that would bring them to the application page. They would do an application. I would suggest sending them to Justin instead, though, because we want to make sure that they come over to the JBE region and not to another region.
Okay, perfect.
We're in competition, so.
That's mine.
Yes.
She just wanted to come off mute and remind us she can hit string in a day. And so she gonna do it again. I'm just saying that she wanted to do that. Just say that.
To be fair, I have done this before.
Yeah, that's still a lot
I'm already
better.
experienced.
I'm glad you brought that up, Ashlyn.
Let's
That
go.
is one thing that I wanted to mention to a lot of new agents and even to vet agents. Rory said this to me in like my first 2 months here. Don't compare your day 1 to somebody else's day 10,000. In this industry, we are not all starting on the start line. I want everybody to know that. Nobody is starting in the same position. Some people have done this for 1 month before they came here. Some people have never done it but have been in sales their entire life, right? Other people have been doing it for many, many years, got out of it, came back. Some people have never sold a single thing in their entire life, and this is their first sales job ever, right? So nobody's starting on the same start line, okay? So the only person that you're comparing yourself to is the day before. Did I get better than yesterday? Right? That's all you need to compare yourself to. I used to beat myself up over some of the agents smoking me in sales. Like they were smoking me and I was doing way more work than them. And I used to complain to my wife all the time, like, I don't understand. They're not hitting nowhere near the talk time I am. And then Roy told me, he goes, don't compare your day 1 to somebody's day 10,000. You don't know who's a master, who's a novice, right? Just compare yourself to yesterday. Best advice I could have ever gotten. Best advice, because I was all in my head like, how are these people getting sales? Like, I'm struggling, but you never know what they did before this. Thank you for sharing that, Ashton.
Of course.
Okay.
I think it's important that nobody compares themselves to other people and that they only compare themselves to themselves.
Uh-huh.
I have a question. When somebody has more than one beneficiary, primary, and if they want to like volunteer their money to an organization or a church or whatever, like how do we put that in the application? Like I had somebody that wanted to donate money to the veteran department.
They wanted to donate. Sorry, I was caught up in the underwriting chat. It had me dying for a second.
Like
Okay.
she has like somebody who has like 3 kids. I don't know, like she wants to give money to the 3 kids and then she wants the rest of the money maybe she want to give them to the veteran department or something. How do we put it like in the beneficiary application?
Great question. The beneficiary legally has to have insurable interest. So you cannot leave it to friends. You cannot leave money to churches or charities. You have to put it to estate, and then the estate would be the one that would distribute it to the charity or church or VA or whoever, or leave it to a child that's the most responsible that's going to donate the money.
Okay.
I can tell you right now, my dad leaves me money and he goes, I want it to go here. It's going in my back pocket. So, and I'm very trustworthy. But no way.
Pioneer's probably going to kick the app that I submitted yesterday.
Why? Who'd you put as a beneficiary?
The guy wanted his church to be his beneficiary.
They're going to take it back. Yep. It'll still get approved. They're just going to need to have a change of beneficiary form. So you probably just have to put it to estate and then say, hey, I'm sending you a will. Okay? On the will, I want you to fill out that your life insurance policy is going to this church.
Okay. Would that be on the will kit we send them?
Yeah, that'll be in the welcome packet. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thanks.
Oh, man.
And like we talked about the like that we're gonna send them a packet and everything after we do the application or before we complete the application?
The welcome packet's sent out after the application is done.
Okay.
It's part of the SLS way. Like when you submit a sale report, it's at the very bottom. Send a welcome packet, and that's what's sent. I can't be the only person seeing the underwriting chat right now, right? I'm sorry if I'm distracted.
That's amazing.
I'm confused.
I am dying. It says, I'm going to read it because I think it's hilarious. Hey, this is Charles Willoughby. This is his wife. I'm trying to see. You know what? I'll just let you guys read it. I don't feel like throwing somebody out there. I don't know. Let me see. Is that person even here? I'm not going to say it, but y'all could read it. It's funny. It's hilarious. Just go up to 835 and work your way down.
I think I get it now. Why did that take me a second? I thought Charles was pretending to be the wife of somebody who was having their health posted. I was just really confused. I need more coffee.
God, that's funny. Okay. All right. It is 8:56. We got 4 more minutes.
And
this training. Go ahead.
I have somebody, I don't know, like when I try to close a sale, like at they're like soap. They just they just go away in the last minute. So that lady that wanted, like she was like, I want coverage. She was sure that she wants coverage and everything. when we started filling the application, she's like, do I have to give you my, banking information? And then she's like, I have to make a call and whatever. So what to do in this case?
Was I on that call?
No, Steven.
Okay. I can't say for sure. Some deals go through, some deals don't, right? That's just part of this business. So the goal is to just get me on as many calls as you can, and we will close some deals for you.
So I will call her if she answered, because most of them they ghost me. So if she answered, I will call her like around 1.
Okay.
Because I do have an appointment at 12:30. So maybe call her at 1.
Yes, you can do that. And then don't forget about Belinda.
Belinda, she doesn't answer.
She will. Keep her on the pipeline. I guess I can cover that.
Listen, all of them, their names are Belinda. I got one Belinda and one Belinda.
Pipeline deals. This is something that I can cover for the next 2 minutes until we get ready to hit the phones. Pipeline. As a new agent, you have one goal in mind. Build up your business, your book of business, okay? Everything else that I've trained you on up until now goes into this. So your book of business is your pipeline, your follow-ups, the people that you're going to call back. Do not put somebody in your pipeline that you speak to for 30 seconds and go, can you call me back tomorrow? Everybody understand what I just said there? Do not put them in your pipeline. You do not want 50 people in your pipeline to call that all they said was, yeah, I'm busy right now. Can you give me a call back tomorrow? Those people are not worth going into your pipeline. You want in your pipeline to go into your calendar, you have to hit presentation status. For me personally, that's what I would recommend. That's the only time you're going into my calendar is if we hit presentation status. Okay? The reason for that being is because this is how I think. On average, 1 out of 5 people answer the phone. Not a fair statement? Out of the 1 out of 5 that answer, 1 out of 3, 1 out of 5 will close the deal. Right? If you get into 5 presentations in a day, so 1 out of 5, 1 out of 5. So, if I have 25 people a day in my pipeline, then all I need is account number, social, or voice signature. That's all I need. Account number, social, or voice signature. If I have 25 a day, out of the 25, 1 out of 5 will answer. That means 5 people will pick up. Follow my math here? 25 people in the pipeline, 1 out of 5 will pick up, 5 people answered out of my pipeline deals. If 1 out of 5 turn into closes, if I have 5 people that pick up, that's a sale a day from pipeline deals. Following that math there? That's 5 sales a week, 6 sales a week if you're working on Saturday of pipeline deals.
Yep.
On top of new business, this is how you get to $2,500, $3,500, $4,500 paychecks. That's it, right there. That's the secret, okay? Don't have your pipeline filled up with just anybody and everybody that wants a call back. They're just not worth it. Put them back, no voicemail, get them a call in 4 hours. If they answer, they answer. If they don't, they don't.
And how can we remove them from the pipeline? Because I put everyone.
Yes. So now, if you made that mistake and you did put a lot of people in there, then you just need to go back, open their profile, disposition them as no voicemail. But you have to call them. Okay? So you'll go through your pipeline, work your pipeline, call, no answer, call, no answer, call, no answer, no voicemail. Call, no answer, call, no answer, call, no answer, no voicemail. And just start clearing it out until you get it down to just people like, for you, Miss Balquist, I can think of maybe 4 people that should be in your pipeline. All the Rendas, right? Because they just need a little bit of extra stuff we got in the presentation. If you got into an SBC call and the call didn't close, that will go into your pipeline, right? That's who deserves to be in there.
Got it.
Okay. On that note, it is 9:01. I want to give me 2 seconds. Let me log in. Can everybody log into Bria and SLS Connects for me real quick? If yes, go with it. How big did you
So
guys draw
anything
that
we
box?
can do with, anything we can do with the big four is best.
100%. Always go
Okay.
with that first.
Okay.
Okay. And then next up, how big did you guys draw that box? Pretty decent, or no?
No.
Okay. So somewhere right there, we're gonna write down the age brackets that a client can be for these plans.
Okay.
Pioneer, 50 to 85. No, 0 to 85. Zero to 85. American Home Life Patriot, 40 to 89.
40 to 89.
40 to 89.
I'm also gonna put it in the chat.
Thanks, Forrest.
Guide Star, 0 to 85. UHL, 0 to 80.
To 80?
I
0
thought
to
it was 85.
Let's just put 0 to 80 for right now.
Get there.
Okay. Sika, 0 to 85.
Is that Sika SI or all of them?
Both of them. Gerber, 50 to 80. Actually, you know what? I think UHL is 20 to 85. Let's do 20 to 80. So instead of 0, just put a 2 in front of it. Let's go 20 to 80.
I'm sorry, Josh. You said that's for UHL, 20 to 80.
Yes.
Okay.
And then Gerber's 50 to 85, 50 to 80. Okay. All right, so these are the age brackets. So, based on our rules up at the top, if I can get day one coverage with UHL, but I can also get day one coverage with Sika. Which company am I going with?
UHL.
UHL.
Joe. If I can get standard ROP with Pioneer, but I can get day one coverage with Patriot. Which one am I going with?
Patriot.
Patriot.
Okay.
Pioneer.
Why? Why Patriot over Pioneer? I can get day,
Day
one
one.
coverage
Day
with
one
Patriot.
Day one coverage.
Yes. And what is the rule? Somebody read me the rule that they wrote down.
Can I get day one coverage? Yes or
Can
no?
I
If
get
yes,
day
go
one
with it.
coverage? 100%. Can I get day one coverage? If yes, go with it. If no, can I get coverage with one of these companies? If yes, go with it. If no, Sika or Gerber. Following me?
Yep.
All right. So this is the logic behind this, okay? So now, if you could for me, Forrest, if you could be so kind and show me the Pioneer application, please, sir.
Whole line.
Yep, 50 to 85. All right. This is how easy underwriting is. And as you do this over and over and over and over again, you get good at it. But this is what you do when you're starting off. I'm going to read my client these health questions. Are you currently hospitalized, confined to a nursing facility, a bed, a wheelchair? So you guys see where I'm reading there? The top of the question one. So I read them the top three questions. Somebody read me the big bold letters right below question 3.
If any answer to questions 1 through 3 is answered yes, the proposed insured is not eligible for any coverage.
Beautiful. So if they answer yes to those 3, can they get Pioneer?
No.
No.
Okay. I'm going to save you guys a heck of a lot of time here. If they answer yes to any of those 3, they cannot get any of the top 4. Pretty easy, right? We know if they answer yes to any of these top 3, what company do I need to automatically start looking at? Or what companies?
Sika.
Sika and Gerber.
Gerber, right? 100%. So automatically I'm looking at those. Now, let's say they answer no to all of them. Then I'm going to read question 4 through 7. If they answer yes to any of question 4 through 7, if any answers to question 4 through 7 is answered a yes, the proposed insured should apply for the return of premium death benefit. Follow me?
Yep.
So if any of these questions are a yes, it's standard ROP. So now, let's say they answer yes to one of these questions. Let's say, for an example, that they answer yes to question 4. So we know we can get Pioneer, right? So we know we can get Pioneer, right? All right. So if we can get Pioneer, I know. Can you post the health questions? Oh, show people how you found this first.
Gotcha. Absolutely.
So look at this, Miss Almaz. So if you go to SLS Connects, go back to Connect.
She wants me to call her back at 7:45.
Hit the company that you want to check for. And then what you do is you go down in an AMAM Whole Life application 50 to 85. You click on it, it opens up the application. Okay, so that's where you find these. Now, we know that question 4, pull it back up, on the app is a yes. Everybody agree? Question 4, yes. So I know for a fact that I can get Pioneer Standard ROP, but what does our rule of thumb tell us?
It's not 1 day coverage?
It's not day one, but I can get it. So, but can I get day one coverage? So now I'm going to go and check and see, can I get day one coverage with any other companies? So I'm going to show you guys how to do this. First, I'm going to post a link into the chat for you, and I want you to open it up for me, please, sir. Open up a new tab and then click that link in Zoom chat for me, Forrest. Let it load. John, your mute is really loud. If you don't mind, mute your mic.
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Knuckle touched it.
All right. Does everybody have access to their Dropbox?
Yes.
Speak now, forever hold your peace if you don't have access to this Dropbox, because you absolutely should have access to this. And if you don't, it's in the Zoom chat. Click it, save it to your favorites bar. All right. Hit courses for me. Everybody follow me here. Hit courses. And then I want you to hit policies. And then I want you to scroll down and go to your health cheat sheet. It's alphabetical order. It'll be health cheat sheet 2. All right. So keep this up. Go back to our application first. All right. So question 4, the client answered yes to and no to the rest of the questions. So question 4 was the only one that they answered yes to. Have you ever been medically diagnosed or treated for complications of diabetes, including insulin shock, diabetic coma, retinopathy eye, nephropathy kidney, neuropathy, nerve damage or pain, or used insulin prior to age 50? Okay. What is the most common condition that you see with diabetes? Neuropathy. So let's go with that. Yes, I have diabetic neuropathy. I'm going to go over here, hit Control F on your computer for me. Control F, for those of you guys that don't know, is searches the document, and I want you to type in diabetes. Okay. Now let's use our little arrow over there, and let's go down until diabetes is the big bold word. You guys see how there's the bold condition and then there's the companies below it, right? So Forrest, over here on the right hand side, hit that little down arrow next to your search bar.
I see it. My bad.
Diabetes, no complications.
That's what we're looking for. Yep. So diabetes, no complications. Well, complications, because they have neuropathy, which is a complication.
Okay. Right? So it's a second bold one.
Oh, there it is. You said with complications or without complications?
Yeah, go one more down.
With.
So,
gotcha.
All right, so right there. Diabetes with complications. So we already know, based on them answering yes to question 4, that they can get standard ROP. Everybody agree with that statement? Everybody on the same page? Scroll down a little bit for me, Forrest. Okay. AHL Patriot is modified. Okay? Don't worry about last treatment. It's modified. Okay? So we know that standard ROP is we need to update this, Zach. Why is GuideStar not on here? Let me take control of your screen, Forrest.
Absolutely. I have that training we did that one time where I did a document of everything that you were talking about.
Here, give me
you
control.
Scroll up. It might have got clipped.
That's what I'm thinking.
In between the pages.
Here, your computer's running.
Yeah, oh, you have access. You addressed this, yes.
I can't.
No, my bad.
I know. It's just going too slow for me. I get anxiety. Policies. All right. Diabetes with complications. We know we can get standard ROP. We know Patriot is going to be modified. UHL is EIWL. So all of these are going to be a return of premium plan. Everybody agree with that? If you're not sure of your products, there's a product knowledge training video for you to go watch to learn what each of these plans are. But for right now, we're doing underwriting. So GuideStar is level. Whoa. GuideStar is level for neuropathy. With other medical issues, it's a decline. So remember, they answered no to all the questions besides with neuropathy, and I know I can get GuideStar level. Level meaning day one coverage. So rule of thumb is, can I get day one coverage? Yes, I can. AHL level GuideStar. Following me?
Yes, sir.
See how I'm underwriting with my application? I'm coming to my health cheat sheet to double check my work, right? Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to triple check my work. Okay, perfect. I can get level. So I'm going to go over here. And now I'm going to go, okay, GuideStar application, 45 to 85. I'm going to open it up. And here's my questions for GuideStar. Now, I already know that they answered no to all the questions besides diabetic neuropathy, right, on the Pioneer. So I don't have to ask about heart attacks. So the only thing I'm searching on this page is for diabetes. So, to the best of your knowledge and belief, has a medical professional diagnosed you, provided treatment, or advised you to receive treatment for any of the following? Medication, pills, or insulin for diabetes accompanied by a history of heart attack, artery bypass or stent, angina, kidney disease, peripheral artery disease, PAD, poor circulation or amputation, transemic attack, TIA, or stroke, Miss Jones? No. It's just the diabetes with the neuropathy. Okay. Do you have diabetes diagnosed by a medical profession that is not controlled? This includes an A1C over 10 or a blood sugar over 200, insulin shock, diabetic coma in the last 6 months. No. My insulin is under, or my blood sugar is under 200 and my A1C was under 10 the last time I checked. So both of these are a no. I can go AHL level. Following me? So I just triple checked my work to make sure I'm finding the best plan for my client. So originally I read them the Pioneer app. They answered yes to a question. I went to my health cheat sheet to see, can I get them day one coverage? Yes, I can. I go back over to the day one coverage company, find the application, read them the questions based on the health condition that they provided. Okay, they answered no. Day one coverage, bam, I got my client immediate death benefit and a lower price. Okay? But what if my client says, well, yeah, the last time I checked, my blood sugar was 220. Last time I checked, my blood sugar was 220. Well, I know here now that if it was over 200, question 6 should be a yes. If 2 or less of the following questions, 6 through 10, are answered yes, the proposed insured will be eligible for the graded death benefit. We all know graded death benefit means a return of premium plan, right? So it's going to be return of premium at AHL level. It's going to be a return of premium at Pioneer. Which company do I go with?
Pioneer.
Why?
Better commissions,
That's-
better program.
First on the list.
Yeah, first on the list. Yeah.
That's it. First on
Order
the
of
list.
operations.
Yep. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
You said go day one coverage first, though, right? Out of the top 4, right?
Always.
Yes.
But we can't get day one coverage with AHL level because they
Oh,
answered
that's-
yes.
Gotcha. My bad. I missed that last part. Sorry about that.
Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm going to interrupt training for just a second. Bye, love you. 591350. Sorry guys, this is important. I gotta see if I got picked for my gator hunt tags. This is precedent.
You set the lines up or you open water shoot?
One more time, I'm sorry.
You set up the lines or do you open water shoot?
Set up the lines. No, I catch them on a rod and reel. Sorry, give me a second, guys. Okay, so can't get day one, go Pioneer. Okay, I'm gonna read my applications. I'm then going to go to the health cheat sheet, double check my work. Once I find out, I'm gonna go to the application for the carrier, and I'm gonna triple check my work and make sure I'm going with the right company. Okay? If any question 1 through 3 is a yes with Pioneer, it's an automatic Sika or Gerber. None of the other companies are going to accept any of those conditions. Following me? So now we've underwritten. Now we know, okay, I know which companies to go with. Now, what you should do, which is what I did, just to give you guys a heads up, when I started with SLS, I had zero idea what high blood pressure was, diabetes was. I didn't know about a single health condition. I have never dealt with it myself, so I didn't know about any of it. So what did I do? I grabbed a pen and a piece of paper, and every time I got a health condition, I wrote down what medications went with it, and then I wrote down what carrier to go with it because of it, and I made my own health cheat sheet. I know seizures go AHL Patriot because Pioneer Cares Patriot does not.
I also like saw in the guidelines, they have like a list of medication and which one accepted in Pioneer and HL. They have a medication list. Can we use
Say
that? So I saw like in each guideline, they have medications list, and next to each medication, they have like what is, if it's standard or, what plan should take if you take any of those medication.
So that is your agent guide. So I don't think we need the agent guide too much for the whole life policies that we deal with, just simply because you have your health cheat sheet that we already kind of created and went through. But what you're talking about is right here, AmAm Whole Life Agent Guide. If you hit this, you scroll down enough, it has all the medications and what it can apply for. So if they're on Evelidine, I've never even seen that medication. Hypertension, preferred, CHF, no coverage. But again, you don't really need this at this moment. Okay, because the health cheat sheet and everything else will be kind of there to help you with that. All right, sorry guys, I got to get my mind back in. All right.
Are you gonna
So-
share? Are you gonna share the health cheat sheet that you made and revised from this?
No.
Or no? Okay.
It's in Dropbox. Both of the health cheat sheets are in Dropbox. The health cheat
Gotcha.
sheet that I made, I did it on a piece of paper back when I was dialing. I don't even have it no more.
Ah, gotcha.
Yep. Okay. Next is that's one way to tell what a client qualifies for. Another way to be able to tell is medications. So, client tells you that they have no health problems whatsoever, no health conditions. Empagliflozin. Everybody Google that medication for me.
What the heck? What was it again?
I know what that is.
Yes, you do.
Oh, I do too.
Empagliflozin.
I found that out the hard way. I don't like it.
Okay. Everybody Googled it? So, no, I'm in perfect health. I have no health conditions whatsoever. Can you go grab your medications for me? Yeah, I take this. I only take one. It's empagliflozin. It's EMPAGLO, whatever. And you Google it, and what comes up? Why would somebody be taking this medication?
Diabetes
And that's
or heart
the
failure.
Nepizil,
No, it's
heart failure, dementia, Alzheimer's.
I have
empagliflozin.
diabetes.
Diabetes
Heart
or
failure.
heart
Oh, I didn't
failure.
see that one.
Okay. So there's 3 reasons somebody would be taking empagliflozin. Number 1, they are a diabetic. Number 2, they have heart failure. Number 3, they have chronic kidney disease. Okay? So somebody they're in perfect health and then this medication comes up. What questions are you asking them?
Are you
If they're
diabetic?
diabetic
What do you
again,
take that for?
No, I don't know. The doctor just prescribed it to me. I don't know why I take it.
Do you have
ask
tingling
them
in
if
your
they're
hands?
diabetic.
No, I don't
Ask them
have
if they have
anything like-
CHF.
No, I don't have congestive heart failure.
When's the last time you had a heart attack?
2007.
Is that what you would ask?
Do you ask about tingling in hands or feet?
I'm going to ask questions such as, oh, have you ever been told that you're a pre-diabetic or that you have a touch of diabetes? No? Mm-mm. Okay. Have you ever had any heart issues ever, like any chest pains, or have you ever had any like stents or heart attacks? Well, yeah, I had a heart attack in 2007, but I've been fine since. Do you go to like the cardiologist often? Yeah, they have me go every 6 months for a checkup. Okay. Okay. When was your last chest pain? About 3 weeks ago. What am I going to assume that the client has with this medication?
Heart failure.
Heart failure. Right? I'm going to assume, even though they say that they don't, medications do not lie. Following me, guys?
Yeah.
Next. I want everybody to Google gabapentin. No, I'm in really good shape. I'm in really good shape. But I do take a few medications. I take lisinopril. I take amlodipine. I take gabapentin. I take hydrocodone. When you Google
Yes, sir.
gabapentin, what comes up?
Well, the FDA approved uses are epilepsy, postherpetic neuralgia, and restless leg syndrome. Off-label uses are diabetic neuropathy, other neuropathic pain conditions, hot flashes, and mood disorders.
So it's a nerve pain medication. It can be used for diabetic neuropathy and it can be used for seizures. I didn't list any medications that I gave you. None of them were for diabetes, right? Lisinopril's high blood pressure. Amlodipine's high blood pressure. Hydrocodone is a pain medication. So, what would you ask me?
I answer.
History of seizures.
No, I've never had a seizure.
Do you have pain in your legs?
No, I don't have any pain in my legs, but I do have a really bad back from a car accident that I had in 2019. And I had to have a few discs replaced in my back, and that's why I'm taking the hydrocodone.
You take gabapentin for pain?
I think that might be why the doctor
Nerve.
prescribed it for nerve pain in my back.
I was going to say gabapentin can be used for nerve pain due to chemotherapy.
So it's a nerve pain medication. So
Mhm.
you know that I'm on. I want everybody to write down these medications: lisinopril, amlodipine. Spell them the best you can. Hydrocodone and gabapentin. I'm on these 4 medications. I want everybody to DM me in the chat and tell me what company you would apply for me.
What was the fourth one?
Gabapentin, hydrocodone, lisinopril, and amlodipine.
And all 4 again.
Lisinopril, amlodipine, gabapentin, hydrocodone.
Patriot.
Oh no, DM them in the Zoom chat. Did I say group me? I meant Zoom. You are correct, Shamari. You are correct, Balquist. Why do you say that, Lexus and Rico? Raven, why do you say that? Incorrect, by the way, to the 3. 4 is correct.
Darn that Forrest.
Correct, Abu.
Tried to throw a curveball. I was
Remember-
like, I know
Remember,
better.
guys, I don't have seizures. I don't have diabetes. It's for nerve pain only in my back. Correct, John?
I almost thought that was a trick question. I was like, I shouldn't know that part.
You are correct, Alexis, but which plan? Morgan, right company, wrong plan. Corinne, correct. Jonathan, right company, wrong plan. Rico, no. Those are 2 separate companies now, Alexis. Now you're guessing. I want an educated guess if you're going to guess. Okay. Yes. But what plan? What plan? Morgan. Correct. Gary, incorrect. All right. The correct answer is going to be Pioneer Preferred. Pioneer Preferred. The reason that it's preferred is because I can answer question 4 through 7 with a no, and I can answer questions 8 with a no. Okay? There's no question on the ROP that I would have to answer a yes because, again, my gabapentin is for nerve pain in my back. It's not for diabetic neuropathy. So if we look at the application, whole life application, and we open it up, why is my computer taking forever now?
Gosh, can I throw a curveball?
Go ahead.
But they say they have a touch of scoliosis. You want to do that one or no?